Hello and welcome to Coffee and Memes. Slightly different this week. I'm actually preparing a longer, more in-depth video about something else, so that's going to come out later on in the week. So I wasn't going to do a normal Tuesday Coffee and Memes, but this has just come to my attention and it is total insanity, total gold, and involves a very dear friend of mine, so I couldn't resist. UK producer Scott Diaz has booking cancelled because he's overweight. Are you fucking mental? He was told the way he looks doesn't fit with people attending our parties. Why would you not want Scott Diaz at your party? Look at him. He's a beautiful man. Perfectly spherical head. Pouting red lips. Come to bed eyes. What's not to love about that? This is ridiculous. I've known Scott for about 10 years, I guess. We've collaborated. We've shared studios together. I mean, the collaborations were a little bit difficult because obviously due to his girth, we weren't able to be in the same room at the same time, but we managed to use the wonders of the internet to solve that problem. Obviously, we had to have the studio door, widened for him to get through, but it worked out in the end. Although the one Delirium Silence remix that you may know from YouTube, Scott also goes under the name Evolve or Die. That was actually supposed to be about 5 minutes longer, but we were unable to finish it because Scott accidentally sat on my knee, breaking my leg, and I had to go to hospital. The cult of DJ is a trend that has risen in prominence across the years. While in the early days of house culture, DJs were hidden away and barely glanced, they're now increasingly centre stage and Instagram savvy. Apparently, for some club nights, image is just as, if not more important than the music. UK artist Scott Diaz revealed on Twitter he had a booking pulled after being told his image does not fit. Now, that's not 100% true. There was no actual booking. They hadn't secured a date or anything. They were merely discussing dates and discussing the bookings when these promoters decided that he was too grossly obese for their party. Now, so here is the main point of this. The image does not quite fit with the people attending our parties. Now, I think we can all imagine these parties. In fact, we've probably been to some of these parties, where everyone there is a sort of gaunt, malnourished, sort of hat stand in a long black t-shirt looking person with a sort of slightly deranged, chin-swinging demeanour. The sort of people that look like their coolness is actually giving them stomach cramps. The sort of people that go out on a Friday night and have a 3-day bender without any sleep. They do 15 beans, 3 grams a bag, a load of ketamine, and then spend the rest of the week complaining about how they're depressed and they've got anxiety issues, and they just, that's why they can't get it together. It's like, yeah, not because you're treating your body like a drug-operated cum dumpster, you fucking morons. He continued the thread writing, how the fuck have we fallen this far? We are so obsessed with image and looks, it's insane. I mean, I'm a bit overweight. Scott is not a fat guy. Like, Scott is what I would describe as cuddly. Like, he gives a fantastic cuddle. We've shared many cuddles. We've shared the odd kiss. We've shared bodily fluids. Fuck it, I sucked his dick. What are you going to do? I'm a bit overweight, which I'm honest about. But what the fuck does that have to do with my ability to play records? Well, I don't know. I guess maybe if your, hands were, so fat that they couldn't, you just sort of palming away at the CDJ, a little bit like in The Simpsons, where Homer is trying to become obese enough that he's registered disabled, and then he has to use the phone, but his fingers are too fat to dial the numbers, and he has to just jam his palm into the thing. Maybe if you were that fat, then you might not be able to DJ properly. But Scott has been a class act through this. He's not naming names. Frankly, I'm probably doing him a disservice by making more of a fuss about it than he would like. But, what are you going to do? I feel like the long and the short of this really is, if you're the sort of promoter that's booking acts based on looks over talent, you're running a shitty party and you've probably got shitty people coming to your club. If this is how it's going to be, tarted up wankers playing wanky music for the pleasure of other wankers, quite frankly, then that's a sorry state of affairs. But I think that there are plenty of decent promoters out there booking talented artists for their music, for people that enjoy great music and don't give a fuck about what DJs look like, but they give a fuck about what they sound like. That's the dance music that I grew up with. That's the scene that I love being a part of. And I think anyone that really appreciates music will feel the same.